Okay, well, the YouTuber Creator Day started at 9 a.m. and it's like 11, but I'm not even sure if I can get in anyways. So, but I've showed up to the Royal York Fairmont Hotel, and I'll try.
We all have this story structure, and it's invisible. No one sees it. But the more that you're able to apply that to your own stories in videos, the better people are going to subconsciously be engaged, because you're using this timeless technique of how...
My roommate, who had just gotten into doing YouTube and building his career as Nice Peter, I dropped a name on the floor, and he's one of the co-creators of the Epic Rap Battles of History, which became a giant. Oh, I had another point. My mind is blanking. Nuit Blanche. And as far as, oh, I know what I was gonna say. So you want to make your amazing stuff and things, and again, like...
Do you have any tips on how to keep a viewer watching your video till the very end? Because I know like a lot of YouTubers, once they say like, oh, that concludes my video, but they are...
Guys that grew up in the Jewish community in Montreal, and we wanted to do a really authentic show about our true experiences and the kind of debates and thoughts that we have in our midlife crisis. And so we created this show, and we were able to do it not...
Okay, I got so many ideas now. Here's an idea I had. It's called Elevator Pitch, and it's just like 1-minute videos of me in an elevator with like a random girl where I'm trying to pick her up. Or maybe it's a celebrity. Or maybe I play the celebrity and myself, and you cut back and forth. Or maybe I make videos on webcam, so it's me and there's somebody beside me, and it could be like me just having sort of conversations with friends, or it could be me always trying to convince a PR person for a celebrity why they should let me meet that celebrity. Oh, or it's just videos of me, and I play myself and a girl, and I just cut back and forth with the conversation, and it's just reenactments of like Tinder dates I've had. And maybe it's all real dates, or maybe it's like I just make up dates, and it's just awkward conversations. And whatever my idea is, it has to, well, it doesn't have to, but it could branch out into like a podcast, YouTube videos, maybe live shows, and then I can use the content everywhere. Like it can be branding, like if it's Celebrity Josh or if it's my Tinder dates. Okay, I'm at Tim's on the break. This is why I got fat before and broke. Well, it's not the reason I got broke. My lack of income is that reason. Anyways, I should get groceries later, but I'm fueling my inspiration.
Next up, real quick, is, okay, she hasn't stopped me yet, so we're keep going. I just found the most amazing noise reduction, audio noise reduction.
Watcher.
A microphone is a transducer that converts sound to an electrical signal.
It could be said that YouTube started with videos that were only funny or were comedy driven, etc. And it's evolved to have a much wider diversity of types of content, right? This is obviously something that's more avant-garde. If you were to go into a museum about it, remembering why you started, I don't know how you want to remember this. If you want to create like a post-it note that says like why you started and put that on your computer, fine. If you want to tell a friend and say, hey, this is why I'm doing this if I ever get down.
So it's pretty cool. So when I first started out, my videos were absolute crap, as is everyone's when they first started out, obviously. And I know this was discussed earlier today, but like finding your niche as a content creator is super important.
Like want to be a really strong YouTube channel, creating consistent content with consistent views, working with big brands. Awesome. So when I got into YouTube, I was this dude, right? A lot doable once every 2 weeks for that type of content, but it takes the personality and interaction that it takes to build your audience and get people to convert as subscribers. Because I know it sounds corny to say, all of that energy we spent and wasted swinging can be harnessed for what we want to do and stay creative. So I don't know if it works yet. That's what I've been thinking about for the last few months.
I just have to try to remind myself of this. There's a point where when I watch something that someone posted online, it was nearly as cool as TV or a movie. Like, I was just as impressed that someone had anything up anywhere. It didn't seem like this vast, endless.
Honestly, man, this is so bad. I literally post the same type of video twice a week. Okay, I'd say, like, when you're growing your channel, it's
anybody any kind of tool that they can either make money from or better their life from, you will always be successful because people will always want those things. Just don't try to give people a service they don't want. If they don't want it.
Because of the music in the game, which I have no control over, anytime you post anything that's Nintendo related, even the music itself triggers a copy infringement.
Yeah, so that was a copyright issue, not a trademark issue. And so
yes, I just talked to this lawyer, the guy who gave the presentations. I asked him questions after about getting Celebrity Josh like trademark. That would cost $1,000, and then I could maybe get the Instagram name. But even better, he says I can totally get Josh Ratcliffe. I told him about the idiot in Indonesia who bought JoshRatcliffe.com. He's like, well, is his name like the same? I'm like, no, there's no other Josh Ratcliffe. This guy just stole it. And he's like, you could totally get that back for like $150. I'm like, oh man, imagine. That's good. Okay, somehow I've just vegged out at home for 2 hours, and now I'm gonna go check out the red carpet that was 6 to 8, and it's already 7 now. I don't know what it's going to be like. Actually, I guess I do know what it's going to be like. I went last year, and it's like celebrities from YouTube who I don't know who they are, and all the young girls are going to be screaming for other YouTube young girls who I don't know who they are, and I'll be like the old bald guy sort of lurking like Cousin It or Uncle Fester or whatever from the Addams Family. All right, let's go! I don't know who that is, but she's cute. It's Lucy Liu. Okay, here we have more YouTubers. I'm only at like 48% battery, so I guess I can't film this whole thing. And it looks like there's 1 million people taking pictures, so it's not like the world needs me to record this. These are the executive producers of Buffer Festival. I'm just going to pretend that's me with 2 hot girls. See? It's like twinsies. And he's making fun of his head too. Yeah. I don't know who this group is, but that guy just unbuttoned his jacket and he's not wearing a shirt, so I guess that's good. It's never the girls that do that, I find. Life is very unfair. Okay, the red carpet's pretty much done, and there's a big lineup for the awards now. Now the situation here is that I went to a YouTube Space event a few weeks ago, and they said anybody who was at the event could get free tickets to the entire festival. But, okay, I think I left my mic. I went too far away from it. Anyways, I was saying at the YouTube Space event, Corey, who runs the festival, said anybody who's here can email support and get a free ticket to the festival. But I didn't email until like a couple of days ago, and I haven't heard back. So I showed up here thinking, well, maybe I can just sort of wander in like I did to the creative thing today. But it looks like they're pretty hardcore, and tickets are $25, and I don't have $25, so I guess I could just sort of leave. Famous Rachel David, who runs like some kind of company where she represents influencers. I think she liked one of my things once or followed me once or something. So I feel really cool, but not cool enough to say hi. Anyway, so here we have people going in with real tickets. So I thought that lineup was like blocks long, but it's done in like 2 seconds. But I don't know, I don't see an opening here. Just FYI, I have found a little construction area here with a socket that works, so I'm charging my phone while I plan my next move. I'm kind of like James Bond, like staking out like a thing that he does.
A little bit, yeah.
So thank you to them, but the real people I want to say thank you to tonight are a very special group of people. They work hard every single day to ensure that their behaviour goes from stupid to dangerous to downright.
Fast Martineau is proud to be a gold sponsor of Buffer Festival and the sponsor of tonight's Comedy Award. We want to congratulate the entire Buffer Festival team for such a great program and such a great weekend.
I'm not nervous. I've won lots of these before. I'd like to say thank you to all the other ones in my category
So now we're outside the theater, hanging with Virginia and her mom. I'll tell you all about that later. Oh, but yeah, you met her earlier today. No, maybe I didn't show you earlier. But anyways, yeah. So now we've got a new friend. She says she has a disability, so I'm helping take care of her until her dad comes from Richmond Hill. And I'm going to walk the other girls to their car. We're all going to stick together here. Okay, so I've dropped all the ladies off. Hazel is a nice girl, just asked us for some help. And so I took care of her, and then I took Virginia and her mom to their car. Anyways, all right, girlfriend. It's like 1:22 a.m., so I should go to bed. Well, I'm in bed, but I should go to sleep. And I would normally have my shirt off already, but I feel like I should start being more responsible and not be nude. I mean, I'm allowed to be nude when I'm alone. I just mean on camera. Anyways, just to finish off the story, I'm glad I went to that event. My friend Dawn messaged me while I was still hanging out outside the theater, and she said, "Oh, my niece Panko Bunny is there." And I looked her up, and she's got like 100,000 Instagram followers. So I messaged her and said, "Hey, your aunt said you'd be here." And she's like, "Oh, say hi to me." So then I was like, oh man, I really need to get into that theater. It's a chance to meet a big YouTuber. Oh, that's more comfortable. Okay. So then I went to the theater, and I was sort of just trying to make a beeline in, but this security guard was going out for a smoke. And he had a sort of a toupee. And he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "The YouTube festival." And he's like, "Do you have a ticket?" I'm like, "I have a pass." He's like, "Where is it?" I'm like, "It's at the hotel." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just go in, get a seat." I'm like, "Yes." So I went in, watched the thing, and then I said hi to Panko Bunny after the show. And she's like, "Oh, hey." So that was... And then after, I think her name is Eve. I'm going to call her Eve. And I met her earlier in the day. She was asking questions of the lawyer at the same time I was, and then we exchanged information. And she said she was going to go home for a nap, but she'd be at the event later. And then so after the show, she was like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and then she's like, "Oh, and this is my daughter." I'm like, "Oh, daughter." And then and her daughter's a YouTuber. She has 3 different channels, so I interviewed her. I had my mic with me, sort of my older version of the mic, so I'm returning my other crappy HD mic. And I thought maybe Mom would film me, but she's like, "Do you mind if I film?" But she was filming with her camera, and then I had to film myself with my own phone and then hold the mic in the other hand. But whatever, I've done it before. And we had a great interview. And then after interviewing her, so we went outside, and we were just chatting. And Virginia, she said, "Like the state, Virginia." She said she's friends with Jenna Marbles because she met her last year. So that's cool. And then this girl who I found out later, her name is Hazel. She was like, "Excuse me, do you guys work here?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, I wanted to go in and charge my phone." And I tried the door, and she was like, "No, don't." I'm like, "It's okay, I'll try the door." And it wasn't open. And I said, "Well, actually, you can go over there. That's where I charge my phone, in that little, the lit area of the construction site across the street." And she's like, "Oh, I want to stay in like a safe area." So Hazel told me later, she said a lot of times she's got a disability. And so it's clear, I think she looks like she's blind in one eye, and she told us she has very weak bones, so she has trouble walking. And I think she's got a mental disability as well. So I kind of wanted to make sure she was okay, and she said she was waiting for her dad. So I walked Virginia and her mom to their car in the Eaton Center parking lot, and we took Hazel along, and we walked up the road spiraling because they didn't know where the door was, so they didn't want to go all the way. They didn't want to have to find the door. So then we went to the car, and then Hazel's dad finally called, and then Hazel put the mom on the phone because didn't want her dad to think she was with a guy. And then Mom was taking a while because she was using cash because she didn't want to bring her credit cards downtown or something. That's what Hazel told me. So then, no, that's what, Virginia told me. And then Hazel went to check on Mom, and then I was chatting with Virginia, my God, this is taking a while. And it's also seeming longer because I have to keep making it in these 15-second increments. Anyways, Hazel was like, so how old are you really? And I was like, 44. She's like, oh, that's okay. I've dated older. She's dated 41. And the 41-year-old was very stubborn. He wasn't open to being vegan like she is. And I'm like, yeah, I'm open to that. So she's like, yeah, see, that's a bonus. Anyways, that made me feel young and virile. And she's like, yeah, you got a Matthew Santoro thing going. He's this other bald YouTuber that I idolize. Anyways, you'll see the whole Matthew Santoro story. It's in the interview I did with her earlier. Anyways, I just wanted to say, I don't know how touched I was by meeting Hazel. She's very sweet. While we were initially walking down Yonge Street, she kept saying, like, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Like, my dad says don't interrupt people. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, we would have been chatting forever. She's like, and I said, she's like, well, did I do okay? I said, yeah, you can just say excuse me to people, and in that way it's polite. She's like, did I say excuse me? I'm like, I'm sure you did. I think you did. Yeah, you were very polite. It's all about your tone of voice, and so you did a great job just asking us for help. And she's like, because I have a disability, and so thank you for walking with me because I shouldn't be alone because it's not safe. And I'm like, you're right. And she was worried about walking along the road, like that was a steep hill, because she's like, my bones are weak and stuff. But we walked slowly. We made sure she was okay. She just reminds me a lot of my sister Diana, who has some disabilities herself. She's celiac. She's got Parkinson's. She's got some learning issues. But Diana remembers what people tell her and says, this is what I'm supposed to do. These are So it was very touching. And I was actually asking Virginia, I was turned to her and I said, oh, you're working tomorrow? But Hazel thought I was talking to her, and she's like, no, I'm going to school tomorrow. She's starting at Toronto Film School in Vaughan for animation and video games. And then her dad came, so we walked her. When we came to the parking lot, we saw her dad, and so we walked her across the street, and then he was like, oh yeah, thank you, God bless you, thank you so much. So yeah, I gave her my info so she can follow me on the channels, and I saw that Virginia has been following me on Twitter and I think, Instagram now, so I'm following her back, and hopefully we'll all make some movies together. And her mom said she'll come cook in my kitchen, because Virginia does health videos as one of her channels, and I was telling them how I want to do a kitchen tour, because I saw that Panko Bunny is doing a kitchen tour, because she's like a real chef, and I thought I could do a funny one showing my crappy plates and stuff. Okay, that's enough. Sorry for rambling. I just wanted to share, just how exciting it can be when I leave the house. I met all these different people throughout the day just from going to this event that I didn't even think I would go to. So, lesson in life. Good night.